Self-care is not selfish.
Okay, coming to the top of your mat. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, cobra or up dog. Pushing back, downward facing dog. Good. So this is our first downward dog of the day. The backs of our legs might be a little tight, so we're just going to walk the dog. Good. Stretching out our calf muscles, stretching out our thighs, stretching out our hamstrings. There should be no exertion in your neck at all. So nod your head yes, shake your head no. Good. And on your next exhale, step up to the front of the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Good. Hands coming down to heart center. Inhale, chair pose. Good. Building the heat here. Rooting our feet into the earth. Really starting to feel that fire. Feeling the connection between the earth and our body. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, step back, high plank. Good. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, cobra or up dog. Push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes high. Bend your knees, swing it through, placing your foot between your hands. Warrior one. Exhaling down, warrior two. Clasping your hands behind your back, reach towards the floor, opening the chest, looking up to the sky, and hinging towards your bent knee for humble warrior. Back arms come up, perfect. And coming back up, warrior two. Beautiful. Flipping the front palm, peaceful warrior. Wonderful. Coming back, warrior two.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, you're right. You're ahead of me. So bending the front arm, extended side ankle. Good. Coming back, warrior two. Cartwheeling the hands, framing the foot, stepping back, high plank. Wonderful. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Stretching your left leg high to the sky. Swinging the foot through, coming up, warrior one. Good. Exhaling down, warrior two. Wonderful. Clasping the hands behind the back. Leaning into humble warrior. Good. Coming back up, warrior two. Good. Flipping the front palm, peaceful warrior. Warrior two. Extended side ankle. Beautiful. Warrior two. Cartwheeling the hand, framing the foot. Coming back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Pushing back, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg coming high. Sorry, dropping, left leg come high. And drop it. Step, hop, or jump to the front of the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. Beautiful. Holding it there, taking a few breaths. And on your next exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg comes high. Right knee to right elbow. Right knee comes high. Right knee to left elbow. Right knee comes high. Bring it to your chest, give it a kiss. Right knee comes high, going into wild thing. Looking under the armpit. And if it's in your practice, flipping into flip dog. All right, I really get to give you a high five this time. Woo! Good job. So coming back into high plank. And on your right hand, you're going to go into side plank. Right, opposite arm comes up. Very good. Coming back, high plank. Chaturanga. Good. Inhaling up dog. Your mat smells lovely. Thank you. Push it back, downward facing dog. Perfect. Left leg comes high. Left knee to left elbow. Good. Left leg comes high. Left knee to right elbow. Left leg comes high. Left knee to the center. Giving it a smoocheroo. Coming into wild thing, looking under your armpit. And if it's in your practice, which I know it is, up dog. Or sorry, flip dog. Giving a high five. Yeah, you did it. Coming into a high plank. Good. Coming into side plank on the opposite side. Beautiful. Coming into high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Right leg comes high. Swing it through, coming into warrior one. Good. Bringing the foot. Stepping back. High plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg comes high. Swinging it through. Coming into a warrior one. Good. Framing the foot. Stepping back, high plank. Beautiful. Low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Bending the right knees. So bring it high. Swing it through. You're going to come into placing it between your palms. Coming into a crescent lunge. Wonderful. Bring your hands to heart center. Opposite elbow to opposite knee for crescent twist. Beautiful. Crescent lunge. Good. Framing the foot. Stepping back, high plank. Low plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Good. Left leg comes high. Bend the knee, swing it through. Coming into crescent lunge. Good. Hands come to heart center. Crescent twist. Beautiful. Coming back into crescent lunge. Framing the foot. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push your back, downward facing dog. So we're gonna have a rest here. So some don't believe that downward facing dog is a resting pose. For some it isn't, for some it's quite challenging. But it just gives us a moment just to catch our breath after a lot of vinyasas, a lot of flows. Good. So I'm just gonna have you slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Wonderful. Coming into gorilla pose. So lifting your toes. Wonderful. Yep, you got it. And placing your toes on your wrists. And take a moment here, just catch your breath. Really pulling up on your feet, pressing your feet down into your palms. You should feel that stretch through your back and down your arms. And just taking a moment here to rest, allowing the blood to flow to our heads, clearing our thoughts, moving the energy. Good. And from here, we're going to go into a crow pose. So hands come to the mat, bending the knees. Good. Balancing your knees on your triceps. We need to play here. Yeah, good job. Wonderful. And coming out whenever you feel ready. Good. So pushing back, let's take a child's pose here. Good. Deep breaths in. Deep breath in. You set the fire is burning. We're moving the heat through our bodies, through our asanas. Every pose, the energy goes into our heads, into our extremities, into our hands, rushes down our legs, into our feet. We're keeping the house equally heated. All rooms will be the same temperature. And this is the temperature that sustains life. So just like the earth, which is at the perfect place to create life. Too close to the sun, we would burn. Too far away, we would freeze. We are at the perfect temperature to sustain life. And that's what we're doing, is we're creating that perfect temperature, perfect energy in all areas of our body in order to receive prana, in order to come into a full meditation at the end of our practice. So, coming up into tabletop. Good, we're gonna try a headstand if it's in your practice. If it's not, we can play with a, what's it called? We're just gonna balance, we aren't gonna come up totally into a headstand. So placing your head on the mat. And then just pushing up on your toes. Good. You did it. You don't need my help. Wonderful. Do you want to try and come up into a headstand with my help?
No.
I can grab your legs if you'd like, but if not, you can just leave it.
I sure don't know if it's not.
Okay. All right, you got it. You got this. Good job.
Yeah.
And then coming back down into a child's pose. We don't want to head rush here. So opening the knees, relaxing down. Wonderful. Beautiful. You did it. You got it. Woo-hoo. See? That was your breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up into all fours. Good. I'm going to take a couple cat cows here. So inhaling, dropping the belly, looking up. Good. Raising the belly, dropping the head, coming into a mad cat. Pushing out all that stale air. After we've wrung out all of our organs, coming into cow, just go with your natural breath. Good. We sit at our desks all day. We don't really move our bodies in life in general, and so the asanas are perfect for just getting rid of all that stale air, all that stale energy that just sits stagnant all day. Good. Pushing back into a downward facing dog. Wonderful. Step, hop, or jump to the front of your mat. Great. And slowly, reverse swan dive, coming up to a stand. Wonderful. Good. Coming into mountain pose. Great. So we're going to come into a standing leg raise. So bending your right leg. Good. Holding on to your knee with your right hand. Good. Left arm out for balance. You're going to slowly guide your right knee out to the side. Wonderful. Good. Balancing, setting our drishti at something that isn't moving. And slowly guide your knee back in. Pushing that right foot to the back wall, coming into airplane. Wonderful. Hands can come out behind you. They can come to your heart center. Or if it's near practice, coming forward into Superman arms. Beautiful. Good. Coming back up into mountain pose. And we're going to do the opposite arm, or sorry, opposite leg. So left knee bends. Perfect. Grabbing onto it with our left hand. Right arm comes up for balance. And bringing it up into a hip opener. Wonderful. Good. And guiding it back to center. Dancer's pose.
No, airplane.
Airplane. That was a trick. You passed. You won. Good. Wonderful. Good balancing today. Setting our drishti. And coming back into a mountain pose. Wonderful. So right arm is going to come up. Left arm is going to bend back, or sorry, left leg's going to bend behind you, grabbing onto that ankle. Good. And leaning forward, pushing into your foot, coming into dancer's pose. This time it's dancer's pose. Yeah. Good. Setting your drishti. The more you kick into your back hand, the easier it will be to balance. Good. Coming up when you're ready. And dancer's pose on the opposite side. Good. Right knee comes back. Yep. And bravo. Good job. And coming out when you're ready. We're going to do it one more time on each side. So opposite leg comes back. Good. Some days our balance is bang on. Some days we rock it. Some days if we've eaten poorly, if we're dehydrated, if we haven't had a good night's sleep, our balance can be a bit off. So don't be too hard on yourself. You can switch sides. If you're having a rough day, our practice changes from day to day. And so we just maybe acknowledge why that might be and what we can change for the next day and what makes us feel the best. Beautiful. And coming back into mountain pose. Good. Deep breath in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, high plank. Chaturanga, a little plank. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And pushing back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. Side out. Good. Another deep breath in. Side out. Get rid of all that pent up energy. Again, one more time. Take a deep breath in. Big sigh. Good. Right leg comes high. Bend the knees, swing it through. Coming into warrior one. Beautiful. Warrior two. Good. Straightening the front knee. Coming into triangle. Very good. So we're just going to, I know you're ticklish now, move your hip. Good. Coming in. So as if there's a book behind you, and if I close the book, perfect alignment. Good job. Coming back up, warrior two. Good. Carve it in the hands. High plank. Low plank. I'm looking weaker. That's all right. Inhaling upward facing dog. You can always drop your back knees. Pushing back, downward facing dog. Left leg comes high. Bend the knees. Swing it through. Warrior one. Good. Warrior two. Wonderful. Triangle pose. Perfect. And again, imagine that I have a book behind you. So we're just going to bring our hip forward. Good. Shoulder comes back. Yes. So my book closes around you. And you're between the pages. Wonderful. Coming back up, warrior two. Cartwheeling the hands. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. You can drop the knees if you like, inhaling upward facing dog. Pushing back, and downward facing dog. Good. Right leg comes high. Bend the knees, swing it through. Coming up, warrior one. Now we're going to turn so that our feet are parallel on the mat, clasping our hands behind our back, bending at the waist, coming into forward fold. Good, arms come high. Feeling that stretch in the arms and the shoulders. Feeling stretch off the back of our legs and our hamstrings. Stretching out the hips here as well. Beautiful. And hands coming to your hips. Coming up halfway, and then slowly coming up the rest of the way. Good, right arm comes up. Pivot both feet facing the front of the mat. Sorry, opposite way, to the back of the mat. And dropping your right arm to the outside of your left leg for twisted triangle. Good. And coming back up. Warrior two. Cartwheeling the hands. Oh, the other, you can do the other. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And pushing back, downward facing dog. So your opposite leg comes high. We're going to left leg high. Bend the knees, swing it through. Good. Coming up, warrior one. Coming into facing the back edge of the mat. Good, take a deep breath in. Reach up high and forward fold, placing the hands on the mat. Good. Widening the stance if you need to. You feel strain but not pain in your groin, really stretching out those muscles. Just letting the blood flow to our head, to our arms. Good. Just hanging out here just for a minute, catching your breath. Good. Hands come to your hips, coming up halfway, and coming up the rest of the way. So facing, yes, the opposite side. You can just shorten your stance a little bit more. Good. And yes, twisted triangle. Beautiful. So we're really twisting out our organs here. Coming up, warrior two. Good. Cartwheeling the hands. Perfect. Stepping back, high plank. Dropping the knees if you need to. Chaturanga, low plank. Wonderful. Coming up into a tabletop position. So we're just going to come up onto our toes. I want you to do 5 leapfrogs. So this is how we prepare to come into handstand, when we're ready to do that in our practice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Wonderful. So I'm just going to have you push back, coming into child's pose now. Good. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Just really relax here. Catching our breath. We've done a lot of work, a lot of hard work so far. So we're just coming through, this is called the hero's journey. Beautiful. So coming back, come into a high plank. Good. We're going to lower for a count of 10 to the mat. You can drop your knees if you need to. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Just take a rest here. Let your arms come long on the mat. Wonderful. Catching your breath. Taking a well-deserved break. You worked hard. And clasp your hands behind your back. Coming into locust. Good, raising the chest, raising the feet. Really have opening up the heart. Wonderful, and lower. Now we're going to come into floor bow. Good. Wonderful. So with each inhale, pull up a little higher. Good. And on your next inhale, come up as high as you can. And exhale, release. Wonderful. Releasing the feet. Taking a few breaths here. Good. Bring your hands under your shoulders, pushing back into tabletop. Good. Take a couple cat cows here. So inhaling, dropping the belly. Exhale. Nat cat. Going with your own breath. Good. Then coming to neutral. Coming up onto your knees. We're going to go to camel. So hands come to your lower back. Fingertips pointing down towards your bottom. Slowly start to lean back. Good. Reaching for the heels. Nice. Pushing the hips forward. Wonderful. Very vulnerable position. Heart is open. Neck is open. Saying, here I am to the world. Shining our light into the world. Letting everyone benefit from our energy. Good. Slowly come up. Hands to the lower back. Let's go back into a child's pose here. Pushing back. Really stretch out that lower back. Wonderful. And sitting up, slide your knees to one side, bottom to the other. We're going to come into a boat pose. Good. Wonderful. And we're going to lower down to the mat for a count of 10. We're going to abdominals. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So just relaxing here, bending the knees, fingertips come to your heels. We're going to go up into a bridge pose. Lifting the pelvis, you can clasp the hands underneath, rolling onto your shoulders, making sure that the knees don't splay out to the sides, really hold them in. Good. Good. So we'll say what Happy Jack says, if my family member's life depends on it, could I come up a little bit higher? You couldn't come up that much higher. Okay, and releasing the hands, release the arms. So for our next one, you can come into another bridge or you can go into full wheel, whatever's in your practice, whatever you're most comfortable with. Okay, so hands coming behind the shoulders. On your next inhale, push up into a full wheel. Wonderful. So this is the peak of our practice. This is what we've been working towards. Release that. Tucking the chin, come down. Wonderful. Yes, hugging the knees into the chest. Stretching out the spine. We're going to do another one. So hands come to your shoulders. Good. Pushing up on your next inhale. Wonderful. We're here. You've made it. You've come so far. And tucking the chin. Release. Hug the knees into the chest. Really give yourself a big squeeze. You deserve this. Good. Rocking back and forth. Giving yourself a little massage. Giving your spine a massage. Good. Coming into happy baby. Wonderful. And just playing around like a happy baby. Straightening one foot, straightening the other. Rocking from side to side. Giving that spine massage. You've just worked it a lot. Good. Now rubbing behind your knees, you're going to start to rock back and forth until you come up into a tabletop position. Beautiful. And tucking the toes, push back, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg comes high. Bending the knee, coming into half pigeon. Beautiful. And setting up, and really coming down as far as is comfortable. Good. Just relaxing into this pose. We carry our emotions in our hips. So sometimes our hips can get very tight depending on what's going on in our lives. Maybe we're having a rough time. Maybe there's things that we don't really want to deal with. So we just hold it all in. So this is what's so great about yoga and our practice, is we get to release that. So you may feel emotions coming up, and just let them wash over you like a wave. They may come back like a wave, and let it wash over you. Just acknowledging what's coming up for you, and letting it go. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Tucking the back toe, pushing back down and facing dog. Good, let's walk the dog here. You'll notice a difference between one hip and the other, one leg and the other, even after just that one half pigeon. Opposite leg comes high. Bending the knee, half pigeon on the other side. Setting up, wonderful. And lowering down when you're ready. Good. One side may feel different than the other. So one side may be tighter than the other. Just acknowledge that. So inhales, lengthen your spine. Exhales, lower. Just letting gravity do the work. Reminding your body that your muscles can trust you. You're not gonna hurt them. And once they realize that they can trust you, they'll start to release and relax into your pose. Again, if any emotions come up, just acknowledge them, let them wash away, like waves in the ocean. Placing your hand underneath your shoulders, pushing back, downward facing dog. Good. So I'm going to have you drop your knees coming into tabletop. So we're going to go into a happy frog. So you may want to face your head towards the side of your mat. Good. Rolling up the edges if it's hard on the knees. Good. So just coming down as far as possible, keeping your legs and your joints at a 90-degree angle. Perfect. And breathing through this pose. There. And maybe a pillow. Good job. Just laying your head down and relaxing into the pose. Again, just thinking about our day, thinking about our week, anything that's coming up for us, knowing that this is exactly where you need to be. There's nowhere to go. You're putting the time in to take care of yourself. And as moms, we tend to put everybody else first. We take care of everybody else's needs and putting ourselves on the back burner. But knowing that you can't pour from an empty cup, that we need to fill ourselves up before we can fill the cups around us. And then in order to be the best version of ourselves, we need to take this time for ourselves, looking inward, asking tough questions. What do I need to be the best version of myself? Slowly coming up. Coming into tabletop. Pushing back into a downward facing dog. Good. Let's walk the dog. Sway the hips from side to side. When you're walking the dog, really stretching out those hip muscles. Good. Bend the knees, coming into tabletop. And swinging the legs around, sitting on the mat, legs straight in front of you. Good. So bending your right knee, or your right foot to your right or your left thigh. Take a deep breath in, reach up. Good. And just dropping the arms when you start to feel resistance. And letting gravity do the work. So we're not pulling ourselves towards our knee. We're just releasing. So inhale is extend our spine. Exhale to lower. And slowly rolling back up. And switching legs. Good. Inhale, reach up. And lower, releasing when you feel resistance. Again, one side might be different than the other. Some days we get a little closer than others. Just listening to our body. What does your body need today? So inhale to lengthen the spine. Good. There. And exhale to lower. Just going with your natural breath here. And slowly coming up. Bending your knees, sort of scooching your bum so that it's in the center of the mat. Slowly rolling down on your back. You're going to come into a shoulder stand. Good. So just shifting our perspective, feet come to the sky, hands to the lower back. Good, looking at the world a little differently now. And if it's in your practice, you can stay here or drop back. Perfect, you got it. Again, you can stay here, or you can drop your knees to either ear, coming into deaf man's pose. Beautiful. And remembering that our weight is on our shoulders and not on our neck. Slowly rolling down, coming out of the pose. Beautiful. So hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Really stretching up that spine. Slowing things down now. Coming to the end. So releasing your legs, coming into fish pose. Good, coming up on the elbows. Opening the chest, opening the throat. Finally showing the world all the work we've done. Here I am, shining our lights into the universe, receiving all the positive energy that the universe has for us. And releasing and coming onto your back. Beautiful. So bending our right knee. And taking it across to the left side, guided by your hand, supine twist. Perfect. Might feel a pop or two in your back. We're really wringing our organs out. If you think of it, a wet cloth. That's what we're doing to our body right now. Our organs don't have muscles, so we rely on the muscles surrounding the organs to wring out toxins. That's why it's so important after yoga to drink a lot of water, to flush those toxins out of your body. Releasing that side, and supine twist on the other side. Again, one side might feel different than the other. I can get a good pop on one side and not the other side. My hip can come down on one side and not the other side. So just acknowledging how each side is different. There's no good, no bad, it's just different. And now straightening out. Preparing ourselves for Savasana. So we've gone through our journey. We've gone through some hard times. We've gone through some fun times. Now we're in corpse pose. We've come to the end of our journey, the end of our yogic life. Now it's time to rest. So I want you to flex your feet. Really flex, push them away from you. Every muscle in your foot. And relax. Moving up your legs, I want you to flex your calf muscles. Really squeeze and release. Good. Bring your kneecaps, tighten them, tighten your thigh muscles, squeezing all the muscles, and release. Squeezing your thumb muscles, really activating them as much as you can, and release. Good. Flexing your stomach muscles, and release. Flexing the shoulders, biceps, the arms, the fists, and release. Take a deep breath in, and let your back melt into the mat. Let your body melt into the mat. The back of your head is cushioned by your mat. You're exactly where you need to be. Just taking this time to honor yourself, doing the work, for completing your journey, and thanking yourself for giving yourself this time. to the rhythm. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Start to roll your wrists, roll your ankles. And keeping your eyes closed, just like gaze, roll into the fetal position. So the fetal position represents a new birth. After our corpse pose, we come back into the world as a new being, a changed being. We've worked through all our troubles. And we come back as a refreshed soul, ready to tackle our day, give all the energy that we've just received, shine our light on the world. Keeping a slight gaze or your eyes closed, turn to a seated position, cross-legged on your back. Good. Take a deep breath in, reaching up, grabbing all the positive energy in the room, bringing it down to your third eye, to only think good thoughts. Another deep breath in, collecting all the positive energy, bringing it to your lips, to only speak kind words. Deep breath in, reach up one last time, collect all the positive energy and placing it into your heart center to only feel love and give love. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.